Hi book lovers, welcome to this video dedicated to the reading journal spreads I did in May. I'll also give you a peek of my June cover page as I set it up. I listened to 19 books in May, and this is what my May bookshelf looks like in my bullet planner. 10 of those were new to me books. I color those in with a pen to keep track of them. Only 4 made it into my reading journal. The 4 new to me books that made the biggest impression on me because I had a very busy month. My May cover page that you can see me set up in my last video where I wrapped up April and began May. I had a little story constructed around this whole spread. If you want to know more about it, I'll link the video where I set it up in the video description. One of the first books I read in May was Whiskey and Sin by Emily Rath, an Omegaverse novel. If you are unfamiliar with Omegaverse, it's easiest explained as a world inspired by wolves and pack dynamics, with a pack alpha in charge and betas and omegas following. Fated mates and claimings are often part of this universe. In this book, an Omega named Silas is on the run from some gang that has been trafficking him, and he is swooped up and rescued and tucked away in a remote mountain cabin by a loner alpha called Bear. And the rest is pretty given. Bear falls in love with Silas and protects him from the bad guys once they come for him. That's like my favorite trope, sweet guy on the run from an abusive ex who finds a new strong guy to protect him. This book was a positive surprise. I took a chance on it and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. Next up is We Could Be So Good by Sebastian, excellently narrated by Joe Leslie, one of my favorite narrators. This one is very much set in the real world, New York City in the late 1950s. A newspaper journalist reluctantly gets partnered with the boss's son to sort of teach him the ropes, but they end up getting along a lot better than intended. The historical setting felt very genuine, and it doesn't sugarcoat the difficulties of having a gay relationship during that time period. It made me think of this historical photograph of 2 guys kissing in a photo booth, so I included that along with some other historical images from mid-century Manhattan. The story itself is pretty low-key. There are no big plot twists or drama or anything like that. I think the biggest incident was a stray cat walking through the apartment, literally. But I didn't miss the drama because this was just not that kind of story. 4 stars. Next is my May top read, Promises of Forever by Nicky James, one of my favorite authors. I got this audio the minute it came out a few months ago, but as it promised classic Nicky angst, I didn't dare to listen to it until I was in a mentally better place because it wasn't the time to have my heart torn out and stomped on. It ended up not being so bad after all. I have read a lot angstier books from Nicky. This one is about 2 men Jersey and Koa in their mid-40s who used to be best friends at summer camp and wrote letters to each other the rest of the year up until they were 14 and the big betrayal tore them apart. Jersey is a former hockey player whose career ended due to an injury. He got addicted to painkillers, lost his wife and son, and is now making a drug-free life with chronic pain. When he's packing up his estranged dead parents' house, he finds the letters they wrote and decides to reconnect with Koa, now a professor of literature. From chapter 1, it is made clear that Koa is not well and that something happened to him when he was a child and he suffers from serious PTSD. The mystery of this is hinted at throughout the book, and we do get to know the details of it toward the very end. The novel Tom Sawyer plays a big part in this story, so the paper I used here are excerpts from the book that I printed in a handwriting font and soaked for a bit in tea. This story reminded me of Nicky's Love Me Whole. It has a similar pacing where the two men reconnect and get to know each other over the course of a year. Which is no bad thing, because Love Me Whole is a classic and easily Nicky's best novel. There is no over-the-top drama, but a softer and more low-key plot as Jersey and Koa find each other again. Excellent book, excellently narrated by Nick J. Russo, and 5 stars. My last book spread is Salt Magic, Skin Magic by Lee Welch, an historical fantasy, again narrated by Joe Leslie, and it captured me from the first sentence as Thornby, the main character, is desperately trying to escape his father's estate. He's not held captive or anything, he just can't leave, no matter how hard he tries. Enter the visitor John Blake, an industrial magician, because magicians are a thing in this version of historical Britain. They get off to a bit of a rough start as John has been hired by Thornby's stepmother, who believes Thornby is trying to drive her mad. He isn't, there's just a heap of weird stuff going on in this super creepy manor house. Anyway, after John realizes Thornby is a victim here as well, he becomes involved with Thornby and in setting him free. I loved the setting and the vibe. It reminded me a lot of K.J. Charles, who actually edited this book, which seems appropriate. Just like in K.J. Charles's novels, the female characters are very likable and strong. They have agency within their own lives despite the time period, and they go against the norm without being stereotypical rebels. Like Thornby's young stepmom, I would have loved to know how things went for her after the novel ended. A very enjoyable fantasy, and I'm going to be checking out more of Lee Welch's novel in the future. Now it is time to set up my June cover page. My cover page doesn't really serve much purpose. I just enjoy doing it and being creative with images without having to fit them into someone else's story. My May cover page had a green and brown color scheme, and for June I decided to go with 4 shades of brown, and I picked a few images from my archive that I like. These book spine stickers are gorgeous, but they were so difficult to peel off. Even sped up, me trying to peel off the plastic would have made up half of this video, so let's be thankful for editing. I really want to stamp a moon here to go with the quote, but the surface is so uneven due to all the layers of paper, but I'm going to give it a try. If it doesn't come out great, I can stick something over it, but let's hope. Oh, look at that, it worked. Now all the little finishing touches are done, I feel satisfied with the spread. I like how it turned out. Thanks for joining me today and for watching. Happy reading!